Hey guys, hey, welcome to another episode of Film Life Log. This is actually a really special episode. We're in the middle of our move, but just a quick update. And by the way, those are my kids in the background. They're watching the Aladdin movie, the original one, of course, and they're having a lot of fun. So this is our home here, and we're moving to Fort McMurray, as a lot of you know. And we've actually decided not to sell this home, which makes me really happy. Many reasons, which I'm not going to delve into, but we're actually going to maintain the mortgage on this house. And I'm really happy about that because this house is pretty awesome. And we will just be visiting. So every now and then you're going to see episodes from this original house. I'm excited about that actually, and the kids, the whole family is in agreement of that. So, that said, when you look right over there, those are, and I'm just gonna focus into it, those are my analog movie collection because I wanted to show you guys some of the other analog things that I collect. So originally I had titled this channel actually My Analog Life. For those of you that were followers from way back in the day. And the reason why is because I actually believe it's not just about film cameras. I actually believe in keeping analog things or original copies, like actually physical copies of things. And that applies to music, that applies to books, that applies to even movies, right? Um, and that's something that I've always been very strong about in terms of my convictions about that. I keep all my CDs. I actually buy physical CDs. And now that people are not interested in CDs, you can actually find CDs for very cheap, $1, sometimes even 50 cents. Um, Even when it comes to DVDs, like VHS tapes, and my kids are actually watching the original Aladdin, which is a VHS tape, and they're absolutely having a blast. You know, it doesn't have to be the highest quality pixel density thing for kids to enjoy, or even for adults to enjoy. Whenever I pick up an old movie, I find it to be so special, you know, and I really enjoy it. And that's one thing that I want to basically be a proponent for on this channel. And I just wanted for this one to show you my other collections, things that I actually collect apart from film cameras. And some people may think, oh, you're a hoarder. No, I'm not a hoarder. A hoarder is someone that just collects things for collecting's sake. I find a lot of enjoyment in the things that I collect. And not just me, my family also finds a lot of enjoyment in the things that I collect. And that's the bottom line, right? I collect to enjoy it. I collect my film cameras to shoot with them. I collect my VHS tapes to actually watch them. I don't just collect and hoard them. And I also believe that in the future they'll have a lot more value than they have now because a lot of people are disposing of these and they're not thinking twice. Film cameras are going to have a lot more value in the future. Digital cameras, they actually decline in value over time. But film cameras, if you buy a film camera now, most likely it will hold its value or give you more value for your money. VHS tapes are going to be extinct and very soon they'll become rare, and who knows, they'll probably have a comeback as well. My DVD tapes of all my movies, I have them, and some of these movies in the background there, you will be hard pressed to find it on any online streaming media. And that's the beautiful thing. There are movies that I have here that were never digitized and that you only can watch it if you actually have a physical copy. And when you have a physical copy, it's with you forever. I mean, when a service shuts down, and you can name a ton of services, streaming services that have shut down. When streaming services shut down, you have that copy. You still own that copy, because when you're streaming online, you're literally just renting. You're just renting the video or your content. You don't actually own it. They just give you the right to listen to it, or to just to appreciate it for a little bit. And if the streaming content shuts down, that's it. But when you buy the physical copy, you not only get a higher resolution when it comes to CDs, for example, but you also end up with a copy that you can keep on watching and enjoying it for many, many years. You own it. And that's why I believe in analog things. And here I'm going to take you through my collection of not just VHS tapes, but also my collection of magazines, specifically National Geographic magazines. And I do have quite the collection, so stay tuned. Let's get going.
Apu the monkey has a human voice actor.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And Iago doesn't, and he's the one who talks.
Oh no.
The one who talks doesn't have a human voice actor.
Those were my kids, just having fun. Now let's go to the top of this collection. These are the box collection. So I have the Godfather series, the Superman 1 to 4, Ben-Hur, Fiddler on the Roof, Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. Grease, I've got Grease, Sound of Music, my Christian music, wow, Christian music, The Alamo, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, there's Pearl Harbor, Saving Private Ryan, Green Mile, The Ten Commandments, some really great classics. My Fair Lady, Schindler's List, and also Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. And also the Titanic, of course. All these VHS tapes, I mostly bought them for 25 cents each. 25 cents, guys, and you get a whole movie, and you and your kids can enjoy it. Trust me, it's a whole different way of looking at things. I have my DVD collection here. These are just loose DVDs and VHS tapes like Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, Bloodsport, you name it. If you want to know the titles, just pause this video and you can see the titles. There's Zoolander. And over here, one genre that I really enjoy is actually horror movies. I love horror movies for some strange reason. I love horror movies, and I also love my science fiction movies. So here are my collection of horror and science fiction and classics. I don't like the grotesque sort of horror, but I do enjoy some thrillers right there, and also my Star Trek, which I really enjoy, my Star Trek series. I do have a few of them. And also down here are my collection of James Bond movies. And it goes on and on. If you want to see the titles, just pause it. I do have the classics down here. The classics like The Truman Show, South Pacific is actually one of my favorite movies. And the Poseidon Adventure, the original movie, is actually my favorite movie of all time, and I'm serious about that. I can watch that movie 100 times, and every time I enjoy it. The Man Who Knew Too Much. Some really awesome classic movies. And down here are sort of the action movies and also some science fictions as well. We're gonna get into the studio. The old studio, which we're still keeping. We're going to maintain this space nice and clean. And here are my collection of LPs. A lot of it is classical music, some soul music, some Christian music, and really love them. R&B. I do enjoy quite a wide range of genres. So that is my sort of media player. It plays LPs. It plays cassettes. It also plays the radio, and I can connect it to a CD player as well. And it's got a pretty nice sound that comes from it. In this section here, I have the children's movie collection here. So there's an IMAX collection right there, which you can see right there. We've got some Disney movies, some animation movies. The Pokemon series is right down there, and this is actually the kids' favorite spot right now. The Orange Room, which was my space for developing film actually, and printing film. And here are my collection of National Geographic books and magazines. It's amazing, guys. I have a very complete set from about the 1930s to the 1990s, I believe. It's quite complete and it's quite extensive, and this is one of the collections that I thoroughly enjoy. Sometimes I read them. My kids also read them. When I'm bored, I'm just doing a video. When I'm bored, I just grab a magazine and have a look. Take a look at this version from 1964. And what I love about this is it sort of puts everything that's happening today in good perspective, because you get to see so much historical facts. And for me, as a film photographer, it just allows you to appreciate all the evolution of photography seen through the eye of a film photographer like myself. And this actually is an example of the red shirt photography, which I have been talking about with sharing with you guys. If you do want to see and know about that, there's going to be a link that will just pop out there. The red shirt photography, where they highlight something in bright colors to stick out of the background. This is a typical example of that. And that's something that I talked about in that episode. So if you have not seen that episode, do check that episode out. But this is just beautiful, guys. You know, this gives me a lot of joy. It just, whenever I read these, it just gives me a lot of joy. And right there are my collection of CDs. Every now and then, I'll just pop one into the player and just kick back and enjoy it. You know, that's what I really appreciate about this lifestyle of actually investing in analog things that actually exist, you know. Hey, so I hope you did enjoy this episode of a vlog. This is a lifestyle that I really enjoy, and I want to share that with you guys. I hope that you guys will find value in investing in actually physical things. If you enjoy music, do invest in the physical copies of your music and have it for as long as you want to keep it. And also that also helps the artist. And as a musician myself, I'm a proponent of that, because it actually helps the artist. Most of that money actually goes to the artist versus streaming. If you stream an artist's music, for example, they only get a fraction of a cent, you know, a really tiny fraction of a cent. And that is not very feasible for to maintain the arts. And as a musician myself, I know that is becoming a real issue, that most artists are actually, they have to resort to selling merchandise or touring, and it discourages new artists. So in the words of the famous organizer on Netflix, I think her name is Marie Kondo, if she asked me, does this collection spark joy? I'll certainly say absolutely yes. It does spark a lot of joy in me. And also the other thing is that my collection, as you can see, I'm really into organizing my collection. Everything is so well organized. It's not just haphazard, and thoroughly enjoy this lifestyle. So anyways, thanks for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe.